These are American perspectives. This is a look at America from an unbiased view. The 15th Amendment allowed for voters' rights. That was 1870.
My name is Christina Alexander. The name of the show is Hate, an American Love Story. And it tells various stories about love in America from lots of different perspectives, from not just the people in relationships, but people affected by relationships. I did write it, and I don't know how I came up with the idea of me being everyone. I think it was easier when I thought of casting, and I thought, oh, well, one person can do all of this, and I think I'm moderately crazy enough to do it. It was interesting because I've been a part of so many conversations, and I've seen so many people affected by relationships one way or another, that I thought it would be interesting to create a space where we were able to just kind of facilitate a dialogue about relationships and kind of sort of some of that history in America.
Christina Alexander's show, Hate, an American Love Story. It's a very interesting, in-depth look at the relationship between interracial marriage and gay marriage. And she conducted a series of interviews with individuals and created this seamless series of monologues exploring specific stories, vignettes, conflicts. So this space that you're in right now, the Sandbox, is a great lab for new work to be created and performed. This is our second performance in the Sandbox series. The Sandbox series opened in December with a piece called Imaginarium that was a dance and video piece, and it was great because people who'd never been to the theater came for that specific show. And it also provided a lot of cross-pollination with the show that was on our stage our main stage at that time, Three Sisters. If people couldn't get into Three Sisters, they came to the Sandbox, and then they came back to see Three Sisters, or they got into Three Sisters and saw there was another show in the Sandbox. So it creates a lot more traffic in the building, a lot more communication about what we're offering.
This is the world premiere. I workshopped it in front of an audience before, but this is the world premiere, so this is a very sort of exciting step. So it's a little bit of a hybrid. I have characters that don't know there's anyone there, and I have characters that go out into the audience. I like to say that the first row is like this aquarium splash zone. Like if you're in that row, someone could sit on you, could talk to you, could feed you food. Who knows what's going to happen if you're in the front row. But really all of the rows are that way. The whole show, you are fair game to be a part of what's happening. Let's see, I have a 15-year-old who is dealing with the fact that she's pregnant, and the father is a black man, and she's a white teenage girl from a very small town, and her family is very prejudiced. And so she's dealing with kind of the ramifications of, one, the fact that she's pregnant and she's going to have to leave school. But later on in the show, she has to deal with having a biracial child, and how the community at large kind of looks at her and looks at her child, and how she's had to sort of toughen up as a result. I have a man that's in the military who enlisted before Don't Ask, Don't Tell happened, and he was very homophobic when he enlisted, and then at some point in that process realized for himself that he was also a gay man in the military, and what that meant for him, and his choice to not come out, and then Don't Ask, Don't Tell gets repealed, and now he's preparing for his marriage as he's still in the military. I have a Southern woman who is unhappy about a relative of hers marrying someone of a different race, and what that evolves into. So every character you meet is right before some experience that they introduce the audience to, and then the next time you see them in the second half of the show is what that has done to affect their lives subsequently. These were not real people. I interviewed hundreds of people and just kind of started listening to stories and just sort of asked them to tell their stories, either being in a gay relationship or an interracial relationship or an interracial gay relationship, and let those stories work as inspiration for the characters that I created. It feels like a different show every time I perform it, every time I work on it, it feels different. But I expect that the audience won't know what to assume. I expect that you'll see some people made uncomfortable at first, and then becoming more comfortable as they realize the nature of the language, and that even if they don't look like you, they may still relate to you. I'm everyone. I'm every woman and man.